What is going on, 49er faithful? And we have a packed episode here on day one of NFL free agency. It is actually the tampering period still, as the new league year officially begins on Wednesday, but it has been a very busy free agency period for San Francisco in terms of losses, not so much on the re-signings, unfortunately, but San Francisco has lost some big time players. But before we get into those players, let's talk about two players the San Francisco 49ers re signed, and that is running back Patrick Taylor Jr. and defensive tackle Kevin Givens, both depth guys. Kevin Givens has been with the team for quite a few years, ever since he was in the draft as an undrafted free agent. And he's always been a solid depth piece to this line. The 49ers defensive tackle room is really thin. I don't expect them to just stop here. I would think that they're going to probably add to that spot in free agency later this week. Because it's clearly a need once again. I mean, it is their number one need right now. You have Kevin Givens, Kalia Davis, Evan Anderson, and then you have also, Yeotragus Matos can play inside as well, but then you also have Jordan Elliott. So those are your defensive tackles, all depth guys. So Niners probably will add in free agency some starters, and then also in the draft, which is fairly deep at the defensive tackle position, especially. So I'm not too worried quite there yet. I think Niners are just trying to revamp that D line probably as a whole, it feels like. But I'm fine with, this Patrick Taylor and Kevin Givens re-signing. Patrick Taylor Jr., just a guy for special teams. I mean, last year, near the end of the season, he actually got some run, and then he was actually running fairly well. I think it was the last week versus the Cardinals. He actually had a great game for being the last running back on the depth chart. The 49ers will most likely still draft a running back and bring an undrafted free agent running back. There's been rumors about a Jordan Mason trade. We'll see if that ends up taking place. But again, I'm not super worried about the running back for San Francisco. So I think two signings that make sense for San Francisco to re-sign both running back Patrick Taylor Jr. and defensive tackle Kevin Givens. Now let's get to the unfortunate part, and I think we all knew this for the most part, but the Chiefs did come to terms with running back Elijah Mitchell on a one-year deal. It just sucks when players are going, especially to the Chiefs, as a fan, because we all do not like the Chiefs whatsoever. But it is what it is. I mean, Elijah Mitchell, I don't think anyone thought we'd really bring him back. Unfortunately, he's just dealt with a lot of injuries. And we know that the best ability is availability. And unfortunately, he has just not been available for the 49ers. So, yeah, I think that, good luck for Elijah Mitchell. Wish him the best. Hope he's able to actually stay healthy, because that's the biggest thing. He does have, the talent. I mean, when he was healthy with San Francisco, you saw him run through the holes, burst through. I mean, when we had Raheem Mostert, he got hurt, right? And then Elijah Mitchell had to be the main guy, like, before he started dealing with injuries. I mean, he was fantastic as a sixth-round running back for San Francisco, but wish him nothing but the best with the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs also signed 49ers offensive lineman Jaylon Moore to a 2-year, $15 million deal. Jaylon Moore was a guy that I liked for the 49ers to bring back, but, unfortunately, he got $15 million for 2 years, and I think that's just too much for the 49ers for a backup offensive lineman. But I also think the Niners could replace him. I know he was good this last season, right? as a depth piece. So, you got to have depth on this offensive line, which usually it's very tough to find offensive linemen. So we'll see what San Francisco does now. I feel like that's probably going to be mostly the draft. Maybe they go sign a kind of one or two super low tier free agents for depth purposes. But yeah, next up, then we got Talanoa Hufanga signing a 3-year, $40 million, up to $45 million deal with $30 million guaranteed. Niners are probably going to give him a prove-it deal, to be honest. And, I never, $15 million a year, I think that was just way too much, again, for San Francisco to give ultimately. And him just coming off injury, right? And then, with the arm injury, and then prior to that with the ACL, unfortunately, in 2023, wish Talanoa Hufanga the very best. But good luck to him, and glad at least he got his bag. And then guard Aaron Banks, another guy, after Hufanga that I really did not expect for San Francisco to bring. They just do not pay guards most of the time, especially guys that they've, drafted early and are really their starters. I mean, they did it with Laken Thompson a few years back. So he goes to the Green Bay Packers on a 4-year, $77 million deal. Good luck, with him. Glad he's able to get that money. Wish nothing but the best for these guys. Glad to see that they get their money, but again, never saw him returning to San Francisco. Not, surprised there. Quarterback Joshua Dobbs signing a 2-year deal with the New England Patriots. Not sure what the dollar amount is on that one, but Joshua Dobbs wanted to be QB2 last year. Unfortunately, was QB3 for the majority of the year. Never really saw him coming back, especially after that one. I think San Francisco can also go a little bit cheaper at the position. That's for sure. There is some interest, apparently, according to Josina Anderson. The 49ers, as well as the Chargers, have reached out to quarterback Jameis Winston. Definitely would be an interesting signing, a signing that I would welcome, though, for San Francisco. So make sure to subscribe, because we will break it here if that does take place. And then the cornerback Charvarius Ward signs a 3-year, $60 million deal with the Colts. Dealt with a lot of tragedy, unfortunately. Amani Joy, his daughter, unfortunately passed away, and it's just he was saying that he had PTSD, and his wife as well, during the season. Just makes a lot of sense for why he didn't return. That's a nice deal for him. Glad he's able to find a home. And again, he went through so much that we knew, I think, for months, unfortunately, he wasn't going to return back. But, mental health is the number one thing. That's for sure. So best of luck to him. And then the final one that recently just happened, and that is linebacker Dre Greenlaw is signing with the Denver Broncos. So he joins Talanoa Hufanga. The deal is a 3-year, $35 million deal. So that's around $11 million per year, where a lot of these linebackers have been getting paid about $10 to $12 a year. I think San Francisco probably interested in a 1-year prove-it deal, maybe a 2-year deal, but I think rather 1-year deal, probably what was San Francisco was really looking for. And man, it's just, this one sucks the most, because the energy he brought to San Francisco with linebacker Fred Warner was just immaculate. He was a tough hitter. Just, again, the energy he brought to this team was just outstanding. But, he did rupture his Achilles, unfortunately, in the 2024 Super Bowl against the Chiefs. So that, kept him out for a while in 2024. Comes back and then just, kind of injures himself. so he doesn't really play too much. And there was a lot of interest, from teams for Dre Greenlaw's services, and he's a Denver Broncos, so he joins Talanoa Hufanga. But again, this one, man, really hurts. One of my favorite players, that's for sure. But I think he definitely wanted to go out there and be a linebacker one, and that's what he'll get with the Denver Broncos. And again, gets to team up with Talanoa Hufanga there as well. So this one's going to take a while to sink in, that's for sure. Nothing but the best for Dre Greenlaw. Wish him the very best. I don't know how the Niners are going to, fill this in because, again, the energy, I think, is just unmatched. It's going to be extremely hard for San Francisco to replace. You do have some linebackers on this roster that are young guys that, like D Winters, for example, unfortunately, has dealt with some injuries. Jaylon Graham hasn't been great. I mean, you have Tatum Bethune, who they drafted last year. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Niners do here to replace some of these guys. Probably the draft, I would think, because Niners do want to get younger. That's what John Lynch did mention, that they do need to get younger during the combine presser that he held. So definitely going to be interesting, but again, just super unfortunate, and especially for, a fan perspective, I would say. But glad at least he got that money, man. Again, it's going to take a while to sink that in, that's for sure. But just want to thank all these players who played for San Francisco, drafted by the 49ers, except for Charvarius Ward. But anyways, thank you to Charvarius Ward. Really, man. Best of luck to all these guys. But again, man, already a tough day for San Francisco when it comes to the losses of some of their free agents. But yeah, everybody, make sure to smash that like and subscribe button. I am just making sure that there are no more news dropping bits regarding San Francisco or one of their free agents, and I am not seeing any of that, so I think we should be good. But make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. We are going to be live tomorrow once again, like we were today. I don't know if we'll do 7 hours again, but we will be live tomorrow and Wednesday definitely, and be here to break down all 49ers news. Make sure to like and subscribe, share the channel. Peace out, and let's go Niners.